say goodbye.
Alright, welcome back to another episode of Game Chat with Dboss. I am your host, Dboss, and we're going to talk about the second game I have beaten so far since starting this series. Whatever the fuck. First episode I did was on... First video I ever did was on Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and I haven't beaten a game since then until now. And that game, my friends, is an old Xbox 360 arcade title that got a nice remaster or remake or a special edition for the Xbox Series S and X and Xbox One, and that game is called State of Decay. Year 1 Special Edition, to be specific. Now, before I get into it, I just want to say, again, there's probably, I don't think I have any gameplay saved to this, but I will start actually recording some of my gameplay for these, because I don't want to just sit here and, have my face on the whole time. You know what I mean? Like, fuck that shit. Anyways. I'm gonna crank my volume up here. Because we want to get into this game, because I actually had so much fucking fun playing this random Xbox 360 arcade game that literally was only available through the Xbox 360 arcade store. Like, this didn't have a physical release at the time. This was just some game you could download on, like, the fucking Xbox arcade store. You know what I mean? Like Happy Wars. Oh my god, it was crazy. And I fucked with it. I fucked with it so heavy. It was just like... it was just what I needed, man. So State of Decay is essentially, what I believe is like a Microsoft studio. What was it? Undead Labs? I think they're called Undead Labs. I think Microsoft just founded these guys out of nowhere to make this zombie game because zombies were popping at the time. Walking Dead and all that shit. And honest to God, take the Walking Dead franchise IP and put it on top of State of Decay, you have fucking one of the greatest IP-based games of all time. It was so much fun. State of Decay Year 1 Special Edition was so much fun. And I remember Spencer Chow telling me, D-Boss, don't even play that one, don't bother. State of Decay 2 is just that, but more. And it's just what you'll want to play. But I said, no, I'm going to play State of Decay 1 because I want to know what's going on. Because what happens in State of Decay 1 is you are essentially a group of survivors who are up on a place called Trumbull Mountain, I think it's called. Trumbull, I think it's called. I think it's called Trumbull Mountain. Anyways, not important. They're on this little, mountain getaway, lodge area. Very small, country up mountainside. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, the zombie apocalypse hits. Now, you start as a character named Marcus and his buddy Ed. And, they find this girl named Maya after finding a group of survivors. They take Maya back, and then the survivors are, dead. And you're like, what the fuck just happened here? And then that is essentially where your story begins. You get a car and say, we gotta get the fuck out of here. Because you're on, the mountaintop where, you guys are going on a fishing trip. You and Ed, Marcus and Ed are going on, a fishing trip. And, all of a sudden the zombie apocalypse breaks out. There's no actual answer as to why. And it was, I don't want to spoil anything yet, but basically what happens is you deal with all that nonsense. You, Ed, and Maya leave the mountainside and you go down to the actual town, Trumbull Town, and that's where your game begins, and that's essentially where you get into the actual meat of the game, which is almost I want to say sandbox, it's not like Minecraft or anything like that, but it's, it's definitely in that fucking genre, because while you can just blitz through the story, do the whole army missions, and once that last army mission goes, because the storyline follows the army that's in town, doing quarantine, this and that, what's really going on. All of a sudden they're not trying to help the humans, they're trying to keep them at bay. So that's your main storyline. You can get through that pretty fast, but there's a whole plethora of other stuff you can do in the game, like recruit survivors, build home bases, set up outposts near them to keep zombies at bay. Upgrade your home bases. You can have a medical lab that you can upgrade to the point where you can make yourself painkillers and stims to boost your health and stamina. You can put in a library because I think you actually need to make a library to actually do this, which will upgrade their, I forget what it is. I literally forget what it is because I was just having so much fucking fun playing this game. In the end, I ended up giving this an 8 out of 10. It's not, it doesn't mean any game I've ranked 7 out of 10 is less than it. Like, if I gave Star Wars Jedi like a 7 out of 10 and I gave State of Decay Year 1 Special Edition 8 out of 10, that doesn't mean Star Wars Jedi is a worse game than State of Decay. Like, it sucks, you know, because, like, it's an Xbox 360 indie title and a AAA game. Like, there's no way State of Decay Year 1 is better than Star Wars Jedi to some people, but to some other people, it might just be. I'll tell you this much, I definitely had a lot more fun playing State of Decay than I did Star Wars Jedi. And for what Star Wars Jedi was, I gave it a 7 out of 10. For what State of Decay is, 8 out of 10 for sure. For sure, man. Like, for sure. No doubt about it. So you're basically, you start as Marcus and Ed and Maya, and you leave the mountaintop from your fishing excursion to go down into the town and see what the fuck's going on. But you don't have to stay playing as them. You can immediately switch to someone else, and you can recruit these survivors through your upgraded base. You can find new survivors. You can send calls out for, what was it? Like, it was on, like, materials, food, ammo, fuel for the cars or whatever. I didn't really get into that stuff. Like, I know you could set up, like, a garage to upgrade your cars instead of, because there's cars littered everywhere, so you're not, like, running around everywhere. But I never set up that garage to build a car myself, or like repair a car, so I don't know anything about that aspect. But it was so immersive. Like, I'm totally down to get back in there and try my next run, because in this run I actually reset my game like 3-4 times because I kept losing Marcus or Ed or Maya, and you don't have to reset the game, but once they're gone and dead, they're dead. That's what happens. Your survivors get killed by zombies, that's it, they're gone. You're done, moving on. And it's an autosave. So the minute they, like, die, you have to hit the X button. Like, you have to hit the home button immediately and close the game before it autosaves. Like, really fast. Otherwise, Marcus is gone for good. And then you're just hoping wherever you left off wasn't too far behind. You know, like, it was crazy. I didn't want to finish my first playthrough without those 3 characters, so I had to reset my game like 3-4 times. It sucked, but whatever. I finally got it done, and I just had so much fun. Going out and, like, meeting new allies, the Wilkersons, Quentin and Becca's love stories, you know, like, you could, I'm not going to get into that, play it yourself, please play this game. It was crazy, like, it was so much fun, it was actually so much fun, it was a complete sandbox element. Like I was saying, you can get through the army storyline really quick and get to the end credits, and, you know, the end goal is to get out of Trumbull Valley, because it's full of fucking zombies. But you don't have to get to that right away. You can spend days upon days playing this game, upgrading your base, getting as much ammo as you want, doing this, doing that, fighting infestations, recruiting as many survivors as you can, setting up outposts, you know? You can stay at the church the whole time, or you can move out, because the first place you go is a church once you leave the mountaintop, or you can go somewhere else, like this place, or that place, or that place. There's a whole bunch of different areas. Outposts. There's the city hall, a little storyline they got going on there with another group of survivors. Like, there's a whole bunch of other survivors placed around the map, and they're doing their own thing, you know. Maybe you can recruit them, I don't know if you can, maybe, because they're called enclaves. Different enclaves of other survivors. And I remember, your enclaves, like your neighbors, enclaves, whatever, they can disband. Like, I had 3 destroyed one time when I loaded back in. I was like, what the fuck just happened? 3 whole enclaves are gone. I wonder why. I think it was because I moved from the church to some warehouse, and I think that I stopped going near that town at that point of the game because I was deeper in. I was doing my shit around town. And I think they just, like, died off because I stopped doing their quests. Because eventually it does get tedious, but it does it in a way that, you know, you can still keep playing. Like, it is very, like, the same in the end. Like, you will get tired of it eventually, but if you take a little break and you come back, you will just get right the fuck back into it. You know what I mean? Near the end, I started feeling that. I was like, okay, I really want to, you know, this has been a lot of fun, but it's time to move on, you know? It always is. And I only started playing this because I was just so fucking bored with the games that I was actually playing. I was trying to get through a few games. I'm not going to say which because I'm close to them. I will get through them, and they will have game chat episodes, videos, whatever. I'm not going to spoil it, but I've not been having a lot of fun with them. One is actually on the screen right now that I'm going to start getting back to playing right after making this video. But this is not one of them. State of Decay was a breath of fresh air, and I never thought I would think that some Xbox 360 arcade title, like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, or Castle Crashers, could be better than some of these, like AAA cinematic stories that I've played. Like, my god. Like, you talk about a game like Forspoken. State of Decay blows it out of the water. It is a cult classic, and I highly suggest that you load up the Xbox, you subscribe to Game Pass, and you download State of Decay Year 1 Survival Edition. You could go straight for State of Decay 2. State of Decay 3 just recently got announced at that last summer's Xbox Game Fest. They had a great presentation. Can't wait to see what they have this summer. Now that we know that they're going multi-platform, I don't give a fuck if we're Xbox. You could see this on Nintendo Switch or PS5. Now that they're in this new era, I'm looking forward to what they got more. But holy fuck, man. When I saw State of Decay 3, I was like, yo, what is this? Like, this is low-key fire. Like, you can see my reaction on YouTube. It's, like, there. I don't know where it is in my channel, but it's pretty, you know, last summer. It's not that far of a scroll back. You can go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description. But I was like, yo, this is alright. This is kind of interesting. I didn't realize that, you know, I didn't know about State of Decay at the time, so I didn't know what I was seeing. But a lot of people got hyped up for that. I'm gonna get to playing State of Decay 2. I would love it if I could get someone to play it with me, because I heard it's multiplayer and you can get in there with the homies. But I'm more than ready to just play on my own, because I had so much fucking fun playing that shit. And I don't know where it came from, but holy fuck, that shit slapped. That slapped, because it's just so open world. And you don't while I was talking about characters like Ed, Marcus, and Maya that you need, like, I was like, I need to have these characters. I need to get to the end of them. The game, even if you do play like that, the game forces you to switch them out anyways with other characters, because over time they'll limit your health to so much if you take damage from zombies or whatever. And you will take damage, no doubt about it. They have feral zombies, they have armored zombies, they have juggernaut zombies. 3, maybe 4 different types of, like, advanced level zombies. Screamers. Yes, Screamers. That was the 4th one. Screamers. Screamers attract zombies. Juggernauts are big fat dudes. Ferals, like, run on all fours like a werewolf. And the armored ones are just, like, SWAT members from the military who have, like, turned into zombies. And they have a little extra armor. I'm pretty sure they're a little better and more harder to deal with in State of Decay 2, I think I heard. But in State of Decay 1, they're pretty much a fucking joke. I'm not gonna lie. But, like I said, the game forces you to change characters. So you could just level up Marcus the whole time, make him a powerhouse, but you're going to have to switch off him eventually. And you're going to have to use some of your other survivors. So you want to go out, it entices you to go out and recruit more survivors. And then you're going to need more food for them, and then you're going to need to hit medicine runs. Go do this, go do that. Oh no, my survivor's missing, I got to get that. And next thing you know, you've lost 2 whole fucking days playing this game. And then you're like, shit, I gotta go back to work now? I got fucking, like, 4 days straight coming up. I had 2 days off in a row and that was it? They're all gone? No way! And that's a legitimate story. That's actually what happened to me. And now I'm back on my 5 days straight. Actually, no, I'm not. I finished that game, and then I played Monster Hunter with Ben all day. I had a shift, had my day off, finished the game, then went on to play Monster Hunter. Great game. And then I worked yesterday, or today, I guess. And now I'm working tomorrow. And then I have another day off. And then I work those 5 days straight. So it's almost a true story. Who really gives a fuck, though? I finished this game, and it took up the whole time. I thought I had 2 days. I only had 1. I finished that shit. It was so great. No, I did have 2 days. They were just back in the past. I grinded this game for 2 days straight. And then I was like, fuck, I've done so much. I'm not going to have time to finish the game before I go back to work. And then I got to beat it. And now I'm finally able to sit here and talk about it But I'm not going to stay too long. This is going to be a shorter video than the Star Wars one. Because, at the time right now, it's 7:38, and I got to get back to my games. I got to be up at 8 in the morning. I got to get myself down to work. I can't hitch a ride with nobody, so that is it. I got to get some fucking sleep. But ladies and gentlemen, State of Decay, 8 out of 10. Literally 8 out of 10. Let me make sure I actually gave it that. Alright, so obviously I haven't posted it yet. I could have swore I did, but maybe I deleted it. I don't know. But State of Decay should be here, and I gave it an 8 out of 10. I don't know what happened to the post, but I'll repost it. I gave this game a 7 out of 10. That does not mean this game was lesser than State of Decay, Year 1 Survival Edition. But nonetheless, I gave that game an 8 out of 10. I just got to see my background. 8 out of 10, for sure. Please go check it out if you haven't already. I'm saying this like this is a new game and not like going on, what, 15 years fucking old now? Like, Jesus. But please, check it out. State of Decay 2, you're up next. Not immediately, like, I got other things to play. And I'm eventually going to get to game chats about those two. Much less hype videos. Those are not going to be, you know, these ones kind of disappointed me. So we'll have to see what happens. Which one I beat first. There's two of them. There's two of them. We'll get to both of them. But until then, folks, this has been Game Chat with Dboss. I fought with y'all. I hope to see you in the next one. And as always, please have yourselves a damn good one.